Hello, I am the Dark Knight Apologist, and welcome back to Dark Knight Apologetics. Remember, the Bible teaches the truth. It does not teach falsehoods. It teaches the truth. And in reality, we have a globe Earth with Geocentrism, orbiting the sun. The Bible teaches that. It teaches the truth. Remember that. Okay? Hello, I am your host, Jeremy, and in today's video we are doing a simple Bible reading, and we are going over a few verses, 3 of them, and we are going to be talking about how these verses do not teach geocentrism. People out there are claiming that these verses teach geocentrism. I have not covered these verses before, but from my reading, they do not teach geocentrism. This is all about frames of reference. Frames of reference. Reference frames. It's all about reference frames. The Bible teaches the truth, and in reality, we have heliocentrism. The Earth orbits the Sun. The Sun does not orbit the Earth. The Bible teaches heliocentrism. It teaches globe Earth. It does not teach flat Earth, and it does not teach geocentrism. Okay? The Bible teaches the truth. And in this video, we are going to be going over verses and showing that the Bible teaches the truth. Okay, we are starting off in Job 9. Starting with verse 6. Which shaketh the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble. The pillars are the mountains, and it's talking about earthquakes. Earthquakes cannot happen on a flat earth, therefore that's teaching a globe earth. Which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars. It's talking about the sunrise and the sunset. That's a reference frame thing, because when you're standing on the earth, the sun does appear to rise. And it does appear to set. When during the day you don't have stars, so the sun is the only star you can see during the day. So I'm not seeing a problem here. It still sounds like it's teaching heliocentrism with a globe earth. And then verse 8. Which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea. Spreadeth out the heavens. That's talking about an expanding universe. Big Bang cosmology. And treadeth upon the waves of the sea. That's talking about waves in the ocean, of course. Of course, we have a lot of flowery, poetic language here, so you have to interpret. And let's go over to the table of contents to locate the other books. Let's see here. The next book that we're looking at is Amos, which is page 1129. Amos. That's too far. That's Daniel. That's Joel. Amos. Amos 8. Here it is, Amos 8. Amos 8, 9. And it shall come to pass in the day, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord God, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. This is usually assumed to be a prediction of the end days, you know, the end times. So yeah, that's a prophecy of the end times. It's something that is going to happen, not something that does happen. But that's also a frame of reference thing. And I'm not seeing a problem with the heliocentrism here. It still sounds like it's teaching heliocentrism, because we still use the term sunrise and sunset, even though we know that the Earth rotates. I don't see a problem here. It's not teaching geocentrism. Okay? And the next verse is in Habakkuk. Habakkuk 3:11. 11. Here it is. 3:11. The sun and the moon stood still in their habitation. At the light of thine arrows they went, and the shining of thy glittery spear. Let's read that in context. The mountains saw thee, they trembled over. The mountains saw thee, they trembled. The overflowing of the water passed by. The deep uttered his voice and lift up his hands on high. The sun and moon stood still in their habitation. At the light of thine arrows they went, and at the shining of thy glittering spear thou didst march through the land in indignation. Thou didst thresh the heathen in anger. Reference frames. Verse 10 is earthquakes, sunrise and sunset in verse 11, and I'm not 100% sure about verse 12. We can probably just negate that one. So Yeah, I'm not... I am seeing poetic language here, but I am not seeing a geocentric teaching here. It does not sound like geocentrism. It sounds like a reference frame, because on Earth the sun does appear to rise and set. We still use sunrise, sunset, even though we know the Earth rotates. So yeah, I'm not seeing a problem. I'm seeing reference frames. Okay? I think we're good. I might be comparing this to a different translation. This translation was the King James, but I usually prefer the New Living Translation. I'm not a big fan of the King James Version. I prefer the New Living Translation. So yeah, I might be comparing these to a more modern translation. But yeah, I think we're good. Please keep the comment section polite. I am polite to you, please be polite to me. Let's all be polite to each other, no trolling. I won't troll you, you don't troll me. Let's all be polite to each other, okay? Please keep the comment section polite. Hello, I am your host Jeremy, and we're back to do a comparison of Bible readings to the New Living Translation. Same verses as last time. This is the comparison, and we are remembering that the Bible does not teach geocentrism. It does not teach flat Earth. The Bible teaches the truth, which is heliocentrism and a globe Earth. We are looking at frames of reference. Okay, just like last time, we are starting in Job 9 with verse 6. He shakes the earth from its place, and its foundations tremble. The foundations are the mountains. We are talking about earthquakes, and you can't have earthquakes on a flat earth. You cannot have earthquakes on a flat earth. Earthquakes only happen on a globe earth. The foundations are the mountains. That's clearly teaching a globe. If he commands it, the sun won't rise. The stars won't shine. Okay, we're talking about sunrise and sunset. That's a frame of reference thing. The sun does appear to rise and set on the earth. So yeah, that's a reference frame thing. I'm not seeing a problem here. He alone has spread out the heavens and marches on the waves in the sea. Spreads out the heavens. That's a reference to Big Bang cosmology. And we have waves on the ocean there too, so yeah. Definitely not seeing a problem here. He made all the stars, the Bear, Orion, Pleiades, and the constellations of the southern sky. Well, the constellations of the southern sky certainly give you a problem for flat Earth. So yeah, if you made the constellations of the southern sky, you have a huge problem for the flat Earth. Because yeah, the stars in the southern hemisphere do not work on a flat Earth. They only work on a globe. The southern hemisphere only works on a globe. So yeah. Good luck trying to get the night sky in the southern hemisphere to work on a flat Earth. It doesn't. It only works on a globe. So yeah. Oh, what was the next verse? Oh yeah, it was Amos. Uh, Amos 8:9. Ah, here it is. At that time, says the sovereign Lord, I will make the sun go down at noon and darken the earth while it is still day. That's a prediction of the end times. It's a prophecy of the end times. So that's something that will happen, not something that does happen or is currently happening. But again, it's a frame of reference thing. A reference frame thing. Yes, the sun does rise and set on the earth, but it's a reference frame thing. Yeah, that is an end times prediction. It's an end times prophecy. Okay, I don't see a problem here. Still teaching the truth. The Bible still teaches the truth. And in reality, we have heliocentrism and globe Earth. The Earth is definitely a globe in reality. Okay, so Habakkuk 3:11. Here it is. Habakkuk 3:11, right? Yeah, Habakkuk 3:11. The lofty sun and moon began to fade, obscured by brilliance from your arrows and flashing of your glittering spear. Okay. Let's read it in context. The mountains watched and trembled. Onward swept the raging waters. The mighty deep cried out, lifting its hands to the Lord. The lofty sun and moon began to fade, obscured by brilliance from your arrows and the flashing of your glittering spear. You marched across the land in awesome anger and trampled the nations in your fury. Well, that could be multiple things. I think we'll just throw away verse 12 because I don't think it really has any application to verses 10 and 11. So, yeah, 10 basically talking about earthquakes, which you can't have earthquakes on a flat Earth. Earthquakes can only occur on a globe because of plate tectonics. Plate tectonics only works on a globe. You could have storm clouds blotting out the sun and moon, or sunrise and sunset. It could be multiple different things in verse 11. But yeah, we use the words sunrise and sunset even though we know the Earth rotates. So yeah, I'm not seeing a problem here. I don't think I really need to dig into the Hebrew because I think the plain English reads perfectly fine. But yeah. And besides, these are minor prophets, so they're written in Aramaic. So yeah. I'm not seeing a problem here, so yeah. It sounds like it's teaching the truth. Think we're good. As I like to say, God banged the Big Bang and made a globe Earth. Okay? Goodbye. This is the Dark Knight Apologist, and I just wanted to say, see you next time.